Hey guys, it's Kevin the Hero, and I'm here with my friend King. Today we're going to give you our opinions on the new Star Wars Episode 9 trailer. So, King, what was your initial impressions of the trailer?
I thought it was really good as like a teaser. It got me excited for Star Wars, which uh, like the way that Solo never did. So I'm looking forward to it, and I really like this trailer. How about you?
I definitely feel the same way. When I watched it, I got a little bit of chills. It made me super hyped. I got up out of my seat, walked around my office a little bit. I told everybody that it was out.
It reminded me of the teaser for The Force Awakens. I rewatched that, and it's kind of got that. I mean, it's not an exact one-to-one copy, but it's got it's got a opening that starts pretty similarly with the breathing, except in The Force Awakens it opens on the desert.
There has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
So, let's talk about the opening cinematic. So, black screen, it pops up to Rey. She's breathing, hands down, shows Han's blaster, and then it shows Luke's lightsaber.
We've passed on all we know. 1,000 generations live in you now.
And then it goes into a really cool TIE fighter and Rey jumping scene. How you feel about that?
Right. Well, I think it's really cool. I really like that she's kept the blaster that Han gave her in The Force Awakens. Thought that was a nice little memento. But I'm really curious about that lightsaber. If they're gonna show the process of reforging it, or if it's just like, yeah, fuck it, she reforged it. Whatever.
Yeah, I think that they definitely need to show her reforging it or something, because in Jedi culture and everything, creating your own lightsaber, doing stuff like that's really important, and it shows that you've become a knight. So I think that's really important.
Right, and at the same time though, they didn't show Luke reforging his in Return of the Jedi. They had a scene where he was doing it. They ended up cutting that.
Yeah.
So I
don't
see them not doing it, but I think it would be weirder in this case. I think it was more about the reveal of him having a new lightsaber, but since Rey clearly has the same one, I think it's more important that it shows her reforging it, and if she made any changes.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of people were hoping for, the staff lightsaber.
Yeah. I think that would be cool if she got a new unique lightsaber. I don't know how people would take it, but still. But going back real quick to where you were talking about Han's blaster and Luke's lightsaber and showing those, I feel like that's a really good way to tie in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, that she's learned things from these two mentors that she's had from both of those movies. And I think that's just a really cool way to show her progression.
Yeah, I agree. Really curious as to if it does go into her reforging that lightsaber. I'm wondering if it'll show if. I mean, I can't imagine she could do it on her own. I think that would kind of break people's verisimilitude. So, I imagine she's gonna have help from either Ghost Luke or
Our evacuation transport's heading out,
or
and the Stormtroopers
maybe somehow
get nothing.
Maz, because Maz had the lightsaber for whatever reason.
I think it'll be one of two things. It'll either be one of the Ghost Force Jedis that will come back and help her, or it'll be from the books or something that she's learned how to do this. She's maybe found a temple that the books told her to go to or something like that, you know? I think it'll be one of those.
That's right, she does have the books.
Let's talk about the TIE Fighter and her jumping at it and all of that. So I'm going to start off. There has never been a scene to show Jedi's power that strong. There's been 2 instances of where the Jedi were kind of weaker. One's Anakin when in Attack of the Clones, when he was jumping from cruisers.
That was some shortcut, Anakin. He went completely the other way. Once again, you've proved... If you'll excuse me... I hate it when he does that.
In that whole following the bounty hunter scene, stuff like that. And then the other one was with Luke in Return of the Jedi. You know, he gets like knocked off his speeder bike, and then he fights a stormtrooper that's coming at him. Those are the only 2 times that it's happened before, and never on this large of a scale. It's really cool because that TIE Fighter's going like Mach 40.
Traitors and terrorists
you know.
have taken refuge in the Takodana castle, and members of the
It's not
resistance
going
seek
that
to aid their
fast.
escape.
I was just
But they
exaggerating.
escape.
But you know, it's going real
40
fast.
is 40 times the speed of
Control
sound?
this area, meter by meter, starting at the
I
outer
think so.
memorial. Go.
But you know, it's going real fast. And, I mean,
Right.
for someone, a normal person can't do that. Someone with just normal
Obviously.
powers cannot do that. And it shows her jump, and she's going to do something really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely real cool. I'm wondering if that's real, like, or if that's some kind of training, or a simulation,
You could
or
think
like,
maybe Kylo Ren messing with
Jedi
her brain
meditation.
or something. Yeah.
yeah, I have heard some theories that it might be like another force projection, but it's really too early to tell with that. It does look cool though.
Yeah, I do like the look of the TIE Fighter. It does have like red on it, which could call that it could be some elite stormtroopers or that are coming to fight her. Some people think it's Kylo Ren.
I think it's technically a TIE Interceptor, which
TIE Interceptor.
yeah, just
But
based
yeah.
on the wings. But I'm kind of iffy on my.
Yeah, I don't
Star
remember
Wars
all the
vehicles.
names specifically, but it's definitely. I think it's some type of elite stormtrooper. People think it's Kylo Ren. I don't really think it is. And then
Well, there has been a still released of Kylo Ren in a cockpit, so it's close enough that I could see people making that connection. But I could also see that being a fake out. You know, Disney's
Yeah, I
not
think-
shy about doing that in trailers.
I think I saw someone review that, and the gloves were somewhat different. They're like, this probably isn't Kylo Ren. Like they did a still right next to each. So I guess we'll see. But either way, I'm okay with it. I think if it's a elite stormtrooper or a Kylo Ren, I think the scene will be really awesome.
And it cut at just the right moment to really make me want to know what happens next. Like, does she slice the cockpit in half? Does she just clear it, or like if it just like comically just smacks her and she goes flying?
It would have just did the trailer to where just that scene happened. She jumped up, was going to do something to the ship, and it went black. I think that would have been an awesome trailer. That would have been an awesome
That would have
teaser
been
as
very
well.
effective.
Going into the middle part of the trailer, it gives us a montage scene, new worlds, Lando Calrissian's back.
Billy D looks good for 82, man. It's nice to see him apparently having a blast in the Millennium Falcon. By the way, I never watched Solo, but you did. Is Billy D gonna try to fuck that ship?
Not. I don't know. Maybe.
Like, is he just gonna try to like jam his dick into one of the ports like R2-D2 does? He's gonna be mad at R2-D2 for getting with his woman?
He very well could.
No, I imagine it'll just be like he gets on board and he's like gonna like at it and be like, it's been a long time, old girl, or you know, cliche like that.
Yeah.
I doubt he's gonna try to fuck it into Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to bring that back in this new movie, like bring it to relevance, basically.
I would have, they'll have a nod to it, but I doubt it'll be much more than that.
But that is interesting. I didn't think about that. It shows flashes of Finn and Poe, and
right.
It looks like
Poe Dameron's rocking the Nathan Drake look.
Yeah.
And C-3PO is there because quote-unquote comic relief.
But in that clip, it looks like they're probably on the same planet that Rey is at the beginning. So that hopefully that is a huge action scene that all ties in. So after that, it shows Princess Leia and Rey hugging. It shows just a bunch of other things as it's going down. None of it was super relevant. It was cool to see, kind of teasers into what the movie's going to have for us, and then we get into the end part of the trailer where the whole team basically walks up and is looking at the Death Star.
Yeah. No way to know right now whether it's the first or the second, right?
Transport must be
No.
I guess you could probably like analyze the explosions of the first two and see if it lines up, but that's just not worth our time, I don't think.
Yeah, and I don't think it. I think people are thinking it might be the second one. Well, I know they were speculating depending on like the dish size of where like the beam and stuff was. But I think the only reason that scene could be relevant is because it either has to do something with Rey's force power, you know, it's calling them there, some way to like figure out what really happened or something, I'm not sure, or Darth Sidious.
Right.
Transport has been destroyed. Mission failed.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about...
Before we get into that, BB-8, the plucky sidekick, droid, now has a plucky sidekick droid that's trying on a wheel.
Yeah,
man,
which is interesting. I'm okay with BB-8 getting a companion, kind of like R2-D2 and C-3PO, but I think you have some concerns with it.
Well, it really depends. I mean, the reason that C-3PO and R2-D2 worked is because in the original script, R2-D2 talked and just had an incredibly filthy mouth, but they wanted to make it, you know, like more of a kids movie, so they just made R2-D2 speak in beeps and bloops, and then had C-3PO like continue reacting as if he was still saying filthy things. So like it had that dynamic, especially because C-3PO could talk and like could essentially translate in a way without BB-8 talking, unless this new droid talks, which I have my own concerns about. There's no dynamic except beeping at each other, and that sounds fucking annoying. Like, it just seems like another excuse to sell a new toy.
Yeah, I totally understand. And he may not even be in the movie long. He may not be useful. He may just get destroyed like all the other ones. And I think the Phantom Menace, when all those droids get shot off and R2-D2 becomes the hero. You know, something like that could happen. Mm-hmm. But going back to Palpatine's laugh coming back, how do you feel about Palpatine coming back into the series?
Oh boy. Well, it kind of makes sense. I mean, as much as this is like the Skywalker legacy, like Palpatine has really always been in the background. I mean, not in 7 and 8 really, but for the first 6 he was always somewhere, either acting in the shadows or disguised as a friend or as the Emperor. Like he's always been doing something. So thematically, it's not weird to have him come back.
Yeah, totally
I'm
makes.
very curious to how they're gonna justify it though, because I mean, like, clones are established in this universe, so having him come back as just a clone, as long as they make it compelling, I've got no problem with that. Also, like, he's always had schemes and backup plans and all kinds of things, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that this is one of those contingency plans. Maybe he's like got his consciousness uploaded in a droid. Maybe he's maybe he's just
what it could have been is that when Kylo Ren killed Snoke, he was hiding in Snoke somehow with the Force, and that he had to, and when that happened, he had to get out, and that's gonna bring him into fruition some other way.
Also, I think it's in Legends. I'm not sure if it's still canon anymore, but in Legends, I think there was like a helmet that he kind of like possessed, because Sith can't do ghosts the way that Jedi can. It's just a power that's off limits to the Sith, but he did kind of like possess a helmet, and anyone who put it on like kind of got controlled by him. So
Yeah.
there's the possibility of something like that.
So let's jump back real quick. Speaking of helmets, how do you feel about Kylo Ren getting his helmet back and it being forged and having cool red stuff on it?
I preferred when he didn't have a helmet. I think it seems like he's kind of doubling down on being like a Darth Vader fanboy. So I'm hesitant to be excited about it. Although it does look way cooler now.
Yeah, I am really happy that the helmet's coming back. I'm a big fan. I like his voice way better like that. I think he looks cooler, and I've always been a fan of Sith in helmets, just in general. I think it's awesome. I like him to look like a badass.
Good. Alright, well, yeah, there's nothing wrong with villains looking like badass.
Going back into Palpatine's Darth Sidious, I think he'll be... I think it's okay for him to come back in. I don't think it's kind of dumb to get him to come back in or like anything like that. I think it's cool. I'm fine with it.
They're just gonna have to explain it so that it doesn't seem cheap.
Yeah, that is one big thing I didn't bring up.
Which is very doable, I think.
Yeah, they definitely have to explain it. Otherwise, everybody's gonna be like, "This is really stupid," and I'm totally okay with that as long as they explain it just like you said. So going into the end part of the trailer, we have the name of the movie, The Rise of the Skywalker. Do you feel that's fitting?
Wait, is it The Rise of Skywalker or Rise of the Skywalker?
I said it wrong. It's Rise of Skywalker. Or is it?
Okay.
Wait. Oh my god, hold on.
Damage to one transport.
I think it's The Rise of Skywalker. Okay.
There's a couple ways to interpret the title. The Rise of Skywalker. It's kind of like who is the last Jedi in the last one, who is Skywalker in this one. I mean, Luke's dead. Him rising as a Force ghost would kind of be disappointing to the title, unless he like comes back as a Force ghost and just like has a big old boner. It's just like, oh my god, it's the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
But I doubt it's about Luke. It could be about Rey. I imagine they're going to change. Like, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it a retcon from the last movie, but in the last movie, Kylo Ren did claim that her parents were just drunkards who sold her for like booze money.
Ion damage to
But I
one
mean,
transport.
Kylo Ren isn't exactly a reliable source, so like he could just be lying, or like he could not know at all. So it could be Rey. Rey could be a Skywalker. I guess they could have like a secret, like other child. Like
Disruptor hit
either
to an MPT.
Luke or Leia had a secret child they never told anyone about, but that also sounds like a pretty big cop-out to not introduce that until Episode 9. So I think that Rise of the Skywalker is going to be a new form of Force users. Like, they're not going to be strictly following the Jedi anymore. They're not going to be Sith, but they're going to be... I think in Legends it was called like Gray Jedi, which were just like they were for the most part good guys, but they were mostly morally neutral and were focused on being the balance of the Force between the light side and the dark side. So
Yeah.
I think like Rey starting a new branch of Force user called the Skywalkers. I mean, like, as far as names go for space wizards, Skywalker sounds like a pretty good name to me.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I definitely agree with you. I think it'll be one of two things: either Rey's a Skywalker, or it's gonna have something to do with new Force ability or new Jedi name or a new order, basically coming in. I think if they try to complicate it up, or if they try to do something with Luke again or anything, I think that'll be not fitting for the movie at all. So I think it's one of those two things. I'm totally okay with the name.
That's the best case scenario.
Yeah, I feel like this will be the last homage to Luke and to the original series, and they'll get to move on and start new.
Yeah. I sure hope so, anyway.
Yeah.
Because we've had 9 movies about Skywalkers. We really need to focus on any other family. Because at this point, it's just like, every time there's a new Skywalker, no matter, like, who they are, it's just like, alright, well, you're about to, like, throw the entire galaxy into war. Could you just, like, you know, not have sex anymore?
Yeah, I totally.
Or wait, I guess
agree.
that didn't work out for Shmi, so... I guess just, you know, get a... like, space a space vasectomy.
Yeah. I
Could you
totally
just do
agree.
that for the sake of the galaxy, please?
Totally agree. King, do you have any final statements or anything that you want to say?
Not really. I'm looking forward to the end of this. You know, this is now a 9-movie legacy. Like, I think and hope they end on a good note. I think they'll be able to pull it off, but I'm looking forward to it. And then I don't know what to think of what'll come next. I guess it really depends on how this one turns out.
Yeah. So, I love the trailer. It got me really hyped.
An MTT is
I'm
taking damage.
ready to see the movie. I'm ready to see what they're kind of going to do with their legacy.
efficiency
It
rating.
was fun.
Passable.
I'm excited to see the rest of the trailers come out. I'm excited for everything about this. It's going to be great.
Two Juggernaut turbo tanks
But
crawling
thanks for
through
Yeah.
watching.
cruiser. Destroy
Please
the
like,
control
comment, and
centers
subscribe.
with explosives.
If you have any comments or anything, please put them down there. I'll try to respond to them, and we'll have a conversation. But until next time, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you.
Fuck yeah, Star Wars is back, baby!